would like to call the recommending meeting to order or be in compliance with the open meeting law?
Yes.
Okay, and also let the record reflect that the time now is 9:30 and Councilman Barlow was tardy due to receiving his tenure pin for the record, just in case he comes back up later. So with that being said, we'll move to the first line item of business, which is bill number 2011-18, makes minor adjustments to the licensing and zoning treatment of beer, wine, and cooler cultural establishments proposed by Candace Fowler, Director of Finance, and Flynn Fagg, Acting Director of Planning.
Yes, committee members, this bill is a follow-up to some changes that were made to the zoning regulations a few months ago to expand the scope of beer, wine, cooler cultural establishments. Before it had the term art event in the term. After we did that, we noticed that there were some adjustments that we needed to make in the licensing chapter as well. So this conforms to two chapters. It also, at the suggestion of business services, reduces the semi-annual license fee and the origination fee for this category from $1,000 to $500. And we recommend approval. I do want to suggest an amendment that would just be a new section. As you'll notice, this amends the zoning code as it exists today, but a week after this bill becomes effective and it'll be on May 1st, we go to Unified Development Code, and so it all needs to be adjusted to the new numbering. So this new section would just authorize planning and development, authorize planning to make sure that the changes made in this ordinance conform to the new Unified Development Code, and we recommend your approval with that amendment.
Question for you. Does this also cover the World Market Center? Because I know in the past they have come before us for beer and wine sales and having to receive multiple catering licenses for the various businesses that are operated, for the hundreds of businesses that are operated within the World Market Center. So does this cover them as well?
It would not cover them unless it's part of a museum, performing arts theater, or facility licenses, art gallery, art studio. I think they're working on that. Does that sound right for you?
Yes, correct. We're working on something else for the World Market Center.
If you can come in and state your name for the record, please, sir.
Flynn Fagg with Planning Department. Yes, we are working on separate legislation for the World Market Center, as it's a little bit different in terms of the operation than what this is really intended to do for the Arts District and similar things.
Okay, so this will cover the Arts District, the Mom Museum, the Performing Arts Center, the Children's Lead Museum. Hopefully not.
Yeah. Yes, hopefully our children aren't.
But there are foundations for the Children's the Lead Children's Museum that they host fundraisers for the sake of raising dollars for the Children's Museum, not that children will be there drinking alcohol, for the record. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Councilman? I'm sorry. We'll open it up for public comment at this time. If there's anyone here wishing to speak on this item, please come forward and state your name for the record. Seeing none, Councilman?
Motion to send to the City Council with a pass recommendation.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moved. Bill number 2011-19 expands and clarifies the applicability of certain parking-related prohibitions relating to city-owned parking lots, city-owned parking garages, and public rights-of-way, sponsored by Councilman Gary Reese. Staff?
Yes, members of the committee, this bill is some cleanup that represents a number of things that we've identified over the years of enforcing parking prohibitions within the city. Things that needed to be cleaned up to conform to practice, and some issues that have resulted in citations being dismissed because there wasn't a perfect match with the code. So this does a lot of that cleanup. In particular, we currently prohibit people from parking on public streets if they don't have a current Nevada registration. And of course, we don't want to discourage people who come from out of state and tell them they can't park downtown. So it changes that to indicate that as long as you have a valid registration from another state or country, you're perfectly welcome to park in our downtown. It also clarifies a number of things that apply to city-owned parking lots and garages. Indicates that you can't abandon a vehicle there, you can't leave an unregistered vehicle there, you can't put it up on jacks, and you can't repair it unless it's an emergency. Also, there's a need to identify a prohibition in city parking lots and garages. Some people park where they're not supposed to park, or they park not within a space, and this says if spaces have been set up and designated, you've got to park within the limits of that space. That's another clarification, really, because obviously it's not something that we wanted to go on in the past. It also prohibits, our current ordinance prohibits someone from parking a vehicle for purposes of sale on a right-of-way, whether it's improved or unimproved, and this expands that. Even if it's not clearly indicated that if it's apparent that it's being parked there for purposes of display, this bill will prohibit that also. And then there are a few cleanup items that correspond to other changes, including an update to the reference to the fire code that we now have that designates fire lanes. We have representatives of detention enforcement here if you have any questions about the bill.
Okay. With that being said, I'll open it up to public comment. Anyone who wishes to speak on this item, please come forward and state your name for the record. Seeing none, Councilman.
Motion to send to the city council with a pass recommendation.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it. Bill number 2011-20 authorizes installment purchase agreement with the Bank of America Leasing and Capital LLC for taxable direct pay clean renewable energy bonds and taxable direct pay qualified energy conservation bonds for the purpose of financing energy conservation and renewable energy projects. Proposed by Candace Fowler, Director of Finance and Staff.
Mr. Chairman, for the record, Mark Vincent, Chief Financial Officer, I will cover this one. This allows us to get access to the ERA tax credits through the clean renewable energy bonds and the qualified energy conservation bonds. That the combination of that tax credit, which lowers the interest costs, combination with credits we'll get from Nevada Power, as well as energy savings, those three items will more than pay for the cost of these improvements that were made. I think we had a public hearing on this, I think, a couple of weeks ago. And so this just allows us to enter into these lease purchase agreements with Bank of America Leasing and Capital LLC.
Okay. With that being said, I'll open up for public comment. Anyone wishing to speak on this item, please come forward, state your name for the record. Seeing none, Councilman.
Motion to send to the city council with a pass recommendation.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. We're now under public participation. Anyone from the public wishing to speak during this portion of the agenda may come forward, and all topics must be limited to the subjects before this board. Seeing anyone? Seeing none? Councilman?
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor? Aye. So, thank you so much. And also for the record, before we move forward, bills number 2011-18, if moved out of committee today, which it has been, will come before the City Council for adoption April 20th, City Council. Also, bill number 2011-19, which was approved today in recommending, it will come before City Council for adoption on May 4th. And bill number 2011-20 has been approved today at recommending, and it also will come before the City Council for adoption on April 20th. For the record, thank you so very much, and thank you for reminding me.